New tonight at 10, Marietta City Council met to discuss the Marietta Fire Department's old fire truck, the locker room, and the Washington County homeless shelter. City Council started discussions about whether or not they would like to sell the 1930s era fire truck from the Marietta Fire Department. Following that, they started discussions over whether or not they will prevent the locker room bar from renewing their liquor license. This came after public outcry over the shooting that occurred outside of the bar. Following that, they discussed the security plan regarding the safety of businesses around the Washington County homeless shelter. Second Ward Councilman Brett Alphin wants Marietta to be a safe area for visitors and locals alike.
Well, the remarkable thing about Marietta is we have this vibrant downtown, and we know that people love to come to it. You know, people that live here love to come to it. A lot of people work down here, and so we want to make sure that this environment is welcoming and safe for everyone.
For more information about the meeting, you can visit our website at WTAP.com.